Everyone. My name is Manzar Rassouli. Today is March 8th, which we would like to celebrate International Women History Month as well as the day, which is March the 8th. And I have two other beautiful ladies here that we will have a sort of a casual conversation about women and peace. But before we go to that, I would like to give a short introduction, which is about actually partly about my artwork. As you know, some of you, that I'm a visual artist. My works have been about peace and women. Also, at the Watermark Gallery, we have had events under Rumi and more, which we try to bring in conversation, discussions, music, art, poetry, to sort of bring us to an understanding of each other as human beings, that we all are different, but that some areas we have a lot in common. So also some workshops that I was doing at the Watermark Gallery, still I do, under teaching your heart with art, which is actually is to understand each other more. Beside intellectual aspect of us, is the bringing the heart within our understanding and conversation. So teaching your heart with art somehow relates to what we're going to talk today. We talk from our hearts. Women are more involved in our hearts. And we think this is a, a basic and most instrumental, is quite instrumental in global peace. Peace among us, among women, among men, about our in our communities, about the countries, and globally. So I would like to introduce two ladies here with us. One is an author, a writer. Um, Her name is Sheba Monk. She's also a publisher. And another lady we have is from Iraq, from Baghdad. Her name is Anne Kay, as she asked me to introduce her under that name. And she is a life coach. So we just gonna have a casual conversation, as I just said, and we just open up the microphone to first um, Sheba Monk, please.
Hi, good evening. Well, I'm a writer. I started out as a novelist, as some of you may know. And the thing about being a writer, or probably any kind of artist, when you achieve some sort of success, especially early in your career, it's very easy um, to just surround yourself with other people like yourself instead of instead of writing about or painting about everyday people or things that you see, you start to just write and think about other artists, other writers, and that sort of happened to me after my second novel was published, and I put on a memoir writing conference where I found out that all of the 60 people that attended had these fabulous stories that had to be told, and that I was doing I was doing a disservice, really, to not get those stories out there. So I got sort of reluctantly and accidentally into publishing, which I've been doing now for 6 years. And we have authors from all over the world. And I think, as far as like global peace, which is the theme of this talk, is that's the only way that we can really have peace, is when we get to know each other. And in a lot of ways, there's no better way to get to know each other than through telling stories and listening to one another's stories.
Yes, definitely that's the case. When we know each other better, we understand each other better. When we know our stories, like where we come from. Why am I ended up here and I'm producing thousands of artworks and you producing a lot of books? And also Anne Kay, as a life coach, she listens to stories and she tries to help the community here to bring wellness within the community. So as a result, for wellness within us as individuals, that we can expand out wherever that it needed. So please, Anne Kay, tell us more about yourself and what you do.
Well, thank you for bringing me on and letting me visit with you today and share my views of peace and how we bring it to others. I've been a life coach for over 10 years, helping different people, different ages, different cultures. And I was fortunate to live in among many cultures, East and West. And it gives me a lot of fulfillment to help them and different aspects in their lives, like anger management, stress management, setting goals, relationships, and so on. So I consider myself blessed and to hear stories and guide them in life to reach their goals and solve their problems.
Yes, you mentioned something about anger. So you are people,
That
right?
caught me too, right?
Yes, because that's something that really we have to really focus on. What makes people to do violent? Why they take violent actions instead of ability to talk? We have we have this language that has been given to us. So
Well,
why don't we use that? Yes, go ahead, please.
First of all, we gotta embrace that feeling. It's inside of us. Everybody got to be angry to release the tension inside and accept it. And after we accept that feeling, because it's basically part of the hormones working inside and alerting the body is that there's something wrong there. We have some techniques we practice, and then with the help of a professional, we can control that feeling, and then we overcome problems after that. That's how it works.
So, but the idea is to get rid of the anger at where it's safe. We don't sort of bring it to each other and create misery to other people. So it could be in a sort of a family setting. It could be in a community. Could be, I don't know, sometimes we shoot at each other, or sometimes we drop a bomb at some people. It can go on and on. So to see us in an equilibrium, a state of being, that's what we, at least the ones that are in charge of decision makings. So I believe today is International Women History Day or History Month. I think women can perhaps, since we are different in scientifically, apparently, biologically, we are different, and we have these hormonal configuration within us that it seems. That's what the scientist says. I'm not one. So apparently, we can be all in a better equilibrium, in a balance. So we do need women in policy making tables where we sit wherever you see, like, I don't know, 10 men and maybe sometimes one woman. And here they try to either make a war or the peace, you don't see a woman there.
Hala, I mean, Anne, do you see a difference between men and women and their anger?
In my opinion, it's just women are more delicate. They don't pose a threat when you talk about those topics, so people feel more relaxed talking to them than men whose decisions are really kind of more tough than women. That's the way I see it. That's all. But then by the end of the day, we're both a human. We both want peace. We both look at peace the same way. Maybe different way of applying it, but same results. We will.
Yes, we do definitely. I'm not saying here that, but we need like feminine culture, masculine culture come together. But we are all dominated by masculine culture everywhere around the world. So, what I mean by feminine culture, it doesn't mean necessarily just to women. No, it has nothing to do with gender because there are men that also function similarly toward peace, just like women. Look, we lose our brothers, our husbands, our fathers in wars. We don't want to lose them. War is the last thing that one can go, but even not that, even. We have to just,
Mm-hmm.
there are a variety of ways to come to peace and solve our problems. So women do not want to go. Women really, that's as far as I know. So what I'm just really suggesting is when people want to go to war, they should have, if there are 5 women, 5 men to make a decision, 50 women, 50 men make a decision, or whatever. Look, here in America, we have only what, 20% women in government, in the
Mm-hmm.
Congress, 20%. Is that right? Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Bathsheba.
something like that.
Yes.
I,
Sorry.
no, go ahead, Anne.
Bathsheba, you were going to say something, or
Well, in our culture, in not in our culture, but in our Aboriginal culture here in the United States, in America, the Native Americans used to have what they call grandmother huts. And
exactly,
whenever the warriors wanted to go to war, they would have to get permission from the grandmothers. And
exactly.
I always thought that was a great tradition because, young men, they want to go out, they want to expand, and um, older women who have the wisdom and they have the children, they bore the children, and they know what life is on a more personal level. They don't want to sacrifice, like you said, Manzar. They don't want to sacrifice
Right,
anybody, and
right,
so it's important to run it by them.
right. That's the case. What do you think, Anne Kay?
Well, it, I would like to start by giving the definition of what peace means, because peace has different meanings. Like each one has different meaning of peace. So, and that's what creates our vision of peace. So, and there are different areas of peace. There is family peace, financial peace, country peace. So these are all related elements to create global peace by the end of the day, and how we spread that among our society and then beyond the society and local community. So I personally, I'd like to take it and cut it into smaller portion, which is when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I would like to do to create inner peace inside myself. So if I'm in peace, I can help my family be in peace, and then help people around me feel in peace by feeling my energy that surrounds me, which I like. I would like to touch the ground and then meditate a little bit, and that gives me a lot of peace inside. And then I start my day, and then so and then that is so a peace inside of us, and then how we share that peace with people around us, and then teach those people to spread that peace in their local society and then the global world. That's
Exactly. Yes, yes. Right.
It all has
It's
to start small. It has to start with us, like individually, and
definitely, yeah.
that's
yeah.
where you come in, Ann Kay. Though that's where you come in, right?
Yes, well, each of us has his own approach to peace, And that's
Mhm.
my personal approach to peace. This is how I start my peace within myself. And then I feel so much blessed that I created that. I am in peace always with myself. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, that is what actually, as you said, this is your approach. So everyone has a different approach. You know,
Yes.
speaking of individual peace, we all have a variety of ways to make ourselves in an equilibrium, in a peace state of mind.
Mhm.
So,
So
and
what's yours, Manzar?
well, mine is I can't take the my laptop to show you what I have around here. I mean,
Mm.
every part of my house is a meditation space for itself. For me, is a meditation space because the way I design it is also it is intuitive. It's um, it's what I teach, which is teaching your heart with art, intuitive art, and the way to relate to things. Sort of what I do myself when I get up in the morning. I have a sort of a special space that I do yoga, and it's like also the way I design and the fountain I have, which I listen to, the drip of water,
Mhm.
and I have an open eyes meditation, and I do yoga, and my writings then, and my days starts that way. And the inspiration that I get from and I created around the house gives me ideas to produce art. And the
Mhm.
books, like here I'm sitting, for example, this is the book by Rumi, right? It's
Mhm.
I read it in Persian language. This is all about love. So poetry of love and stories as well to teach us about the wisdom that we all have within. Actually, we all do
Mhm.
have it within. So is the idea how to reach it and how to connect to that, the third eye it's called also, or there is this
Mhm.
space within us that
Mhm.
grounded us and makes us feel well and makes sense of what it is around us. So this all give me inspiration in my art. So
Mhm.
soulful things that this is my way.
Mhm.
So everybody does have their own little variety. Whatever works for you.
Mhm.
And I like your what you mentioned to reflect back on the third eye. There is the pink approach. I call it the pink approach, which is the pink color inside the heart chakra, which is a green. So
Mm-hmm.
the third eye is a chakra, and then this is where you love yourself, the pink inside the heart. So that spot, pink spot, is where you love yourself. So by loving yourself, that's the first thing I feel and I believe is that you have to love yourself. By loving yourself, you can love everybody else. If you don't love yourself, you don't see that pink inside of you, you will never be able to love and feel in peace as well.
Yes, a very important point I want to mention here because I have lived most of my life in Western societies, but I grew up until age of 18 in Iran. So, but what we see here, self-love, they call it here narcissistic. I don't know. I
Uh-huh.
mean, no, really,
You see a
really, what I,
difference? You see a difference?
oh, it's not narcissistic. I love a lot of people. I love life. I love everything around me. I see myself in everything, the essence, you know.
Mhm.
And here, what I see lacking is that. but it's just like it's a confusion of between self-love and narcissistic approach to us. But that's very true when you love yourself. See, that's one thing about the societies out there in the East. What we
Mhm.
have is we call sort of a feminine culture we have. Although
Ah,
it's a man sort of societies more are in the East, but the society generally is more feminine. People relate to each other in a more based on their sensory faculty. Here we are all
ah,
in our heads. Here we are all in sort of analytical, relationships. What is in it for me?
ah. That's
And
interesting.
oh, definitely. And what is in it for me? It's just like, and even if you want to do something for, we're
Mhm.
not thinking what is in it good for me because I like to help out. And then they become, oh, why is she doing that?
Uh-huh.
Why is he distrust, huh?
Cynical.
So sometimes, yeah, sometimes you have to hold back, and I say, okay, I'll be like everybody else because I am just so people look. What does she want? What does she want? She's that way.
Uh-huh. So you think Americans are transactional more in the West? We're transactional. Everything has a
We are. I
cost.
mean, not. Look, there are beautiful. There are people that are more even generous than East. I have
Mhm.
had friends through the years, but I'm talking sort of overall, and it's nobody to blame here. But the
No, no,
reason,
I know what
right,
you're
right,
saying. Mhm.
it's like, look, if I grew up here, if I was born here, probably like my daughter. My daughter is my daughter, right? And she knows the culture. She has been over. She has seen my family, lived there 6 months, all of that. But because she's born here, she studied here, she knows she's very different, she's still looking at, you know so the thing is, I don't know if it works for oneself and others, so it's okay. But if it drives you to a stressful sort of a life and drives you crazy, and then you become a millionaire, so then of course, the
I just lost
question
you guys.
the question arises here, what if we are doing right? So we do not. No, I did not lose you. I have you, Shiba.
I I just I think my connection went down for a minute. Are you guys there?
I am
Yes,
here.
yes.
Okay, all right. I lost you for a minute. Anyway.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's the system basically. This is a new land. This is it's only what 200 years that the Constitution or so on, but it's basically it's new. So we are learning. Actually, we are learning. It is here. This is what this society could be, I don't know, adolescent age, and those societies are 9,000 years old. So they
Right.
have learned, and everything is comes into play a role. We can't really say this or that or the other. The experts go into details, basically, and
Mhm.
find out that what is still, we always look for solutions everywhere, every society, every family, we all look for solving the problems and what brings us to a better living a life.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think that to Ann Kay's point, that I really liked this idea that you really have to start with yourself. And I don't
definitely.
and I don't think that's my first inclination. My first inclination is to solve the world's problems.
That's what
And
I
then
think. I am that way too. But it starts with oneself. Be the change.
right. Well, that's what I'm hearing tonight, and I like that message because I don't think, I mean, when you listen on Facebook and you hear people arguing, especially about politics now, everybody has their own solutions to everything, and really, to both of you, very wise women, are saying it's inside. And that's, I think, a message that we should take to heart, really.
True, 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 true. Very
Very
true.
true. Yes, it starts within. Be the change, and then we can expand that. Of course, there are institutions out there that they can help this process. See,
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
could be more faster than one individual to go. The institutions are highly instrumental in that
And
process.
true. And I personally think to feel more in peace is to be grateful, really grateful to everything we have. Like just imagine thousands of years ago, kings would have, people around them just moving the air around them to get fresh air, and that was their air conditioning system. Look what, right?
That's so
Love
funny.
it.
So I think we are so greedy today. It's like everything we took everything for granted. Like, why is
Yes.
this is so that's also affects our souls and damage our souls. So we gotta be grateful every day for everything we have. And then and that's how we also create peace. Personally, what I do every day before I have my breakfast, we thank the world for three things, main things, which is for me, the first thing is just being alive, breathing, and healthy. And then maybe
Yes.
I'm a little bit greedy, asking for more things. The third, in the third,
Yes. Yes.
third one.
Definitely.
Yes, but that's how I see it. Yes. Yeah, we expect a lot. We expect a lot. Yes.
That's true.
and
That's
and
very
being
true.
and living in the east and west, I see like the huge difference. And then I think being here is we are so blessed. Yes. Yeah.
I think you're both so lucky to have come out of and to have experienced both the East and the West. As a writer, I would have loved that experience.
Well, you should go there,
I
Bathsheba.
should.
You should make a visit and write about what you see.
I think I should. I think maybe you ladies should accompany me too.
Oh yes. Sure.
I
Yes.
I
I
would.
personally, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I personally like myself. My blood is like Middle Eastern, but my mind and heart been always Western. That's how I connected with John easily.
Uh-huh.
And, and for
Yeah.
letting you know, men are men. They're actually exactly the same. They're asking for the same thing from women, East and West. No difference.
Yes, they are. Actually, they are very similar. I see. But I think the way they brought up, the
Yeah,
way they brought up, the way they brought up is different. They are the same.
yeah. They look. Well,
Yeah. Look,
yeah,
I don't know about the West is not the case. I mean, but the East, uh, boys are raised very differently
it's true.
than girls. That's why it creates problem. And here, of course, now is getting better because women are being more educated and they get in a workforce, and so it's is the self, I think, um, understanding of oneself.
Mhm.
We are going through a beautiful time. I guess we are learning, we are experimenting, and we're looking for, just a life to live as a positive and peaceful. We lost you for a second,
I
but
know, I know. I think my connection is bad. But we're running out of time actually too.
yes.
We have about 20 seconds. So
Well,
um
we
Manzar, do you want
want.
to we'll come
Yes,
back
I
next
want.
week?
Pardon.
will we come back next week, next Monday, and
Yes,
try?
that would be great to continue this conversation. That's what we are going to be planning for
Okay.
every Monday. So 7 o'clock every
Mhm.
Monday, right here. Thanks for people out there. They have been listening, and thank to Bathsheba, as well as thank to NK.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Good
Okay.
night.
Good
Good night.
night.